I already gave him his warning. Fight like your life depends on it, because it does.
It just pisses me off. And then
You're good, take a break.
Mike Tyson has just delivered a game-changing blow to Jake Paul, and the YouTuber turned boxer is feeling the heat. This isn't your typical verbal showdown. Iron Mike is coming at Paul hard, and it's clear that Jake isn't taking it well. After all the controversy Paul's caused, Tyson isn't one to let him off the hook. The boxing legend has made it clear he won't forget the disrespect Paul has shown, especially when it comes to dragging his name through the mud. Tyson didn't just criticize Paul's skills or lack of them. He made things deeply personal, and Paul is visibly upset, throwing tantrums like a child. Let's talk about Tyson. He's a legend for a reason. And when he came after Jake Paul, he didn't hold back. Tyson straight up said Jake is about as intimidating as a wet noodle, and there's no doubt that Paul is struggling to handle the heat. These two are set to face off in the ring on November 15th in what promises to be a showdown of epic proportions, a true battle of the eras. This isn't just a boxing match, it's a clash of titans that has rocked the internet ever since the news broke in March. Fans are eagerly anticipating the action, and the tension between these two athletes is undeniable.
The baddest man on the planet, Iron Mike Tyson, making his return to boxing this summer, and he's facing former YouTube star Jake Paul in Texas. Now, the whole thing is going to be streamed exclusively on Netflix. The fight is Tyson's second boxing match since 2005. He will be 58 years.
Mike Tyson hasn't held back on Jake Paul from the start, and in my opinion, Paul's the one to blame. Jake has been relentlessly going after Tyson, poking the bear at every turn, completely underestimating the legend. What Jake doesn't seem to realize is that Mike Tyson isn't just another washed-up NBA player or MMA fighter like his previous opponents. Tyson is a true boxing icon, and a little respect from Jake would have gone a long way, but it's too late for that now. Jake has already pushed him too far. The truth is, an angry Mike Tyson is the last person you want to mess with. Tyson isn't just a loudmouth, he's a fighter with a dangerous past. This is the same man who bit off a piece of Evander Holyfield's ear in a match that became legendary for all the wrong reasons.
Your ass, you punk white boy, you faggot. You can't touch me, you're not man enough. I eat your ass.
Mike Tyson has been relentless in his attacks on Jake Paul, and there's no holding back. Tyson hasn't minced words, calling Paul everything from a social media clown to a fraud. He's been absolutely brutal, saying that Paul is all talk with no substance, accusing him of cherry-picking easy opponents. It's almost as if Tyson is sitting back, popcorn in hand, ready to deliver another brutal mic drop moment every time Paul speaks. Tyson has called Paul out for avoiding real competition, claiming he's scared to step into the ring with a legitimate boxer. Tyson's challenge is clear. If you want to talk trash, prove you can back it up. So far, Paul seems to be avoiding the challenge, playing it safe instead of stepping up. Tyson has even taken shots at Paul's boxing skills, saying he fights with the technique of a 5-year-old. Ouch, that's harsh. Tyson is essentially saying, I built this sport, I know what real boxing is, and you're just a flash in the pan. He's demanding respect from the younger generation, telling them they need to put in the work and earn their place in boxing. Tyson's not here for the gimmicks. He's on a mission to set the record straight and remind these new age boxers where they stand. Now, let's talk about the fight that was supposed to go down on July 20th, 2024. The Tyson vs. Paul matchup was one of the most talked about events in boxing, hyped up by verbal jabs and drama on social media. It was building up to be the hottest ticket in town, fans were buzzing, betting was rampant, and the world was split into Team Tyson and Team Paul. It felt like a mega event, like the Super Bowl meets the World Cup and the Oscars all rolled into one. But just when the excitement was at its peak, Jake Paul pulled the ultimate low blow. He cancelled the fight, and not only did he pull the plug, but he threw Mike Tyson's health into the mix, using it as an excuse. The nerve of this guy. Tyson fans were left furious, and the boxing world felt like it had been robbed of a showdown that promised to be legendary.
Obviously, devastating news. I'm heartbroken, speechless, gutted. We've been working so hard over here, everyone in this camp, and I just feel bad for everyone involved in this event, the whole undercard. Opportunity has been ripped from all of us, but I do value Mike's health first and foremost. Love that guy. I have so much respect for him, and I want Mike to be healthy. And he says he still is going to knock me out, and I bought myself some time. So Mike is still talking shit over there. But Mike, if you want to do this, like you said, behind closed doors, behind the scenes, you've said you want to do this in Q4. You just need a little bit of time. So I'm ready whenever you are. This is too big of an opportunity. I think this fight's going to change the world, and I turn all my L's into W's. That's a motto I live by, and the universe makes no mistakes. So let's see what's in store. But sorry this didn't work out. To everyone, the fans, love you guys.
Jake Paul tried to blame the cancellation of the fight on Mike Tyson's health, claiming the boxing legend was too sick to go on. But let's be real, that's not the whole story. Here's what really happened. Mike Tyson was on a cross-country flight from Miami to Los Angeles when he had a flare-up of an ulcer, and it hit him hard. It wasn't pretty, but Tyson assured fans he was fine and would be ready to fight Jake Paul. Classic Tyson, right? Tough as nails, always bouncing back. But Jake, seeing an opportunity, jumped at the chance to postpone the fight, using Tyson's health issue as a convenient excuse. It's starting to look like Jake realized he might be in over his head and needed more time to prepare, or maybe he was just plain scared. The truth is, Mike Tyson is in better shape than most guys half his age. The man is a machine, training relentlessly, eating clean, and still maintaining that knockout power. Tyson is no slouch, and it's clear that even a health scare wouldn't keep him down for long. So was Jake just buying time, or was he genuinely avoiding the inevitable? The fight is still up in the air, but it's clear that Tyson's ready to take on whatever comes next.
Me too. I'm getting ready for you.
Just when everyone expected the epic showdown between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, Jake pulls a switcheroo. Instead of facing the boxing legend, he's now set to fight Mike Perry on July 20th, 2024.
Yeah, the news is true, folks. Jake Paul, will be fighting Mike Perry, Tampa.
Just when we thought we'd finally get to witness the long-awaited showdown between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, Jake pulls a switcheroo. Instead of facing the legendary boxing icon, Jake has decided to go a different route, opting for a matchup with Mike Perry on July 20th, 2024. Now, let's be clear. Mike Perry is no joke. He's far from a pushover. A UFC veteran with a reputation for being wild and unpredictable, Perry has knockout power in both hands and a chin made of iron. After retiring from the UFC, Perry transitioned to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, BKFC, where he's continued to shine. In fact, he's knocked out some of the biggest names in the promotion like it's nothing. But while Perry is a tough dude who can take a punch, there's one major issue. Boxing is a different beast entirely. Perry may be a force in BKFC, but he's not Mike Tyson. Tyson is one of the most feared and respected boxers in history, a legend of the sport, and there's no comparison between the two in terms of boxing skills and achievements. Jake's move here looks more like a strategic play than a genuine challenge. Let's be honest, while Perry certainly poses a threat in the ring, he's nowhere near the caliber of a boxing icon like Tyson. This whole thing reeks of Jake trying to stay in the limelight while avoiding a potentially career-defining fight. It's a calculated decision that allows him to keep his momentum going without risking too much. Fans are left scratching their heads, wondering if we'll ever actually see Jake Paul face off against a true boxing legend. Will he step into the ring with someone like Tyson, or will he keep finding ways to dodge it? The situation has created massive confusion and even some disappointment among fans. This feels like Jake's way of sidestepping the real challenge while still keeping the hype alive. But here's the thing, you don't mess with Mike Tyson. Tyson isn't backing down, and he's been quick to fire back. And when Tyson fires back, you better be ready. Jake Paul might think he can dodge this fight, but Tyson is making it crystal clear that the stakes are much higher than Jake might have realized. Tyson's $300 million lawsuit threat has sent shockwaves through Jake's camp, and it's clear the pressure is mounting. Once a confident social media star boasting about being the future of boxing, Jake is now scrambling to find a way out. The trash talking has turned into a desperate attempt to save face, and fans are noticing. Remember when Jake was saying, "I'm going to knock out everyone. I'm the future of boxing"? That guy seems to have disappeared. Now, all we hear from Jake is worry about Mike Tyson's health, like he's suddenly the concerned little brother. This sudden shift in tone feels like an attempt to play the victim. It's a pathetic move to deflect blame, especially considering how Jake was trash-talking Tyson non-stop. He was calling Tyson every name in the book, yet now he's acting like he genuinely cares about Tyson's well-being. It's transparent, and fans aren't buying it. The truth is, Jake is terrified of stepping into the ring with a real legend. The more he tries to wiggle his way out of this situation, the deeper he digs himself into a hole. His efforts to play the victim are only making things worse, and the internet is catching on. People are calling him out, pointing out how fake his concerns are, and it's like watching a slow-motion car crash. With every passing day, Jake looks less and less like the confident fighter he once claimed to be. Instead, he's coming across as a man on the defensive, trying to dodge responsibility for his actions. To make matters worse, Tyson's camp isn't letting up. They're relentless, constantly applying pressure, and every day that passes only increases the heat on Jake. He's backed himself into a corner, and it's becoming clear that there's no way out now. The anticipation for this fight is growing, and it's hard to see how Jake can avoid it much longer. This whole situation has only fueled the fire for the Tyson versus Paul showdown. The back and forth, the verbal jabs, the drama, it's creating a level of hype that's almost unprecedented. Every day brings new developments, and the anticipation for this fight continues to soar. While Jake may have hoped to avoid the inevitable, there's no escaping the spotlight now. His actions have pushed him into a corner, and the world is watching closely to see what happens next. As we approach the eventual confrontation, the build-up is going to be legendary. Trash talk, mind games, intense training montages, everything we've come to expect from a high-stakes fight like this. When these two finally step into the ring, it's going to be a spectacle like no other, with all eyes on them. Fans are ready, and the question now is, will Jake finally face Mike Tyson, or will he continue to find ways out of it? What are your thoughts on Mike Tyson destroying Jake Paul with words, and Jake's tantrums in response?